What's going on, dudes? It's your boy, and the Matrix. I'm back with another video. Sorry, I've been out, been busy, but I'm back, and we're gonna talk about Square Enix. And looks like Square Enix is trying to kill its own creativity. Okay, this news is coming. Well, it was going viral from this Twitter account, learning the law, manga lawyer, the manga lawyer. That's his name. Said the director of the Final Fantasy Rebirth spoke the truth a few days ago, and they now make games for a global audience guided by ethical reviews. We all know what that means. Instead of prioritizing Japan and creative freedom, the term JRPG will soon disappear, and Japanese games will be anything but Japanese. I'm not sure why they are so caught up in serving a global audience.
Hello, this is Yami Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And make sure to subscribe to Andy Matrix's channel. Now on with the show.
Right? Because I mean, Square Enix sold all of its Western IPs, Deus Ex, Tomb Raider, all that stuff. They sold it. So I'm not sure why they think that continuing on with this trend is going to help them. But let's go ahead and hear what the director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has to say. It says, "We now create with a global audience in mind from the very start. In that sense, we are in a completely different era. What factors do you consider when designing a game for a wide global audience?" Right? It says there are so many elements that go into game development, from the story to every little detail in the game presentation. We conduct thorough ethical reviews tailored to different regions, taking the time and resources to ensure our work doesn't become a source of negativity for anyone is essential in today's world. So they're saying ethical reviews tailored to different regions. So I'm guessing by what they've done before and what they're planning to do now is that they're going to localize games according to the regions that are released. So for North America, South America, Asia, they're going to change. They're going to be changing the game in different ways. Maybe change the dialogue, maybe change the outfits of the characters, right? Such and such. Because tailored to different regions. That's what I'm getting. And it says become a source of negativity for anyone. I mean, that's impossible. That's impossible because different cultures, they're gonna look at it. They're gonna look at it in a negative way. Some people are gonna look at it in a negative way. It doesn't matter what you do. In the in the early 2000s, people thought that they were Americans, Puritans that they will go to Japan and they will look at the schoolgirl culture, like schoolgirl culture in anime and other stuff. And they would be like, "Oh man, like these people are crazy. How dare them do these types of things?" And by that I'm talking about like the schoolgirl anime genre, or like how like they make like a like a video game with a schoolgirl that has a samurai sword and all that stuff. The Americans, they used to see that as child predator, something that's for child predators, right? Let's just say. But no, and then fast forward till now, anime's popping. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, oh my god, I love schoolgirl anime," right? All of a sudden, and so people are gonna look at it in a bad way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. So, and what's funny is that in the next slide it says back when the original Final Fantasy VII was released, it was primarily created for the Japanese market, and its global reach expanded as it gained recognition. Gee, I wonder why. But today, rather than first prioritizing Japanese market, letting the game's reach grow organically, we now create with a global audience in mind from the very start. In that sense, we are in a completely different era. This tells me that they do not understand their market. So the reason why they're saying this is because the population in Japan is going down, and they don't want to just make a video game strictly for Japan, because it used to be that Japan would have enough people, that have disposable income to spend on games or in other stuff. But now they don't. They, the economy has changed. The population is going down. People are not having kids. There's not enough children being born, so they don't see a bright future ahead. So they want to pander to a global audience, thinking that that's going to help them, right? But what little do they understand that is their Japanese culture, that it's that makes them money. And I get it. Population decline, all of that, but they should create the game with Japan in mind first. Even if they're not going to sell it to a Japanese audience, they they should create the game with with the Japanese market in mind first, and then sell it to a global audience. I mean, take a look at the past 2 years after the pandemic, after the world opened up for travel. Japan has been flooded with immigration, with tourists. So its popularity, right? Its popularity, it sells. Japanese culture sells. But they're saying no, we can't do that anymore. At least that's what I'm understanding. We can't do that anymore. We gotta pander to a global audience, which is really nobody. The reason why people like Final Fantasy VII is because it was made by the Japanese with the Japanese point of view, and we like that. But the Japanese don't seem to understand that, right? And they're gonna pay the price, right? They're gonna pay the price. They're gonna pay the price for trying to be like a Western company. Once they're already going broke. Once once their pockets start hurting, then they're gonna realize. And what's gonna happen is that they're probably gonna lose so much money that eventually Square Enix, somebody's gonna try to buy out Square Enix. And this is why I say in the future, Final Fantasy is going to be very, very different. I think, in my opinion, I think it's going to be very, very different. But yeah, man, Final Fantasy is probably not going to be the same. Square Enix games are probably not going to be the same in the future, especially as Western influence goes into Japan, and as they refuse to do anything about it, and they just say, "Oh, let's go to a global audience." But let's see what happens. Honestly, man, there's been times that I think, what's the point of continuing this YouTube channel? Like, should I just quit? Because I'm not excited about games anymore. And to be honest, I'm not excited about anime like I used to be. Everything is just becoming kind of boring. So, whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy, Andy Matrix. Godspeed.